Are you ready for what?
Hey.
Well, good day there, mate.
Second.
Wait, is that right?
Why did I know you were going to do that? So, second time's a charm. We started the show and
Nobody saw that
live. So yeah,
nobody saw that.
Well, that's why we're a minute or so late, right?
But
I was actually early today.
You were. You beat me. It's amazing.
I beat Todd today, and then I didn't start the show on time. So there we go. Well, it's because I was excited, man. I'm excited about tonight's show.
Very excited. Last week, Scotch, not so great. This week, Irish whiskey. I think it's going to go a lot better for us.
I can tell you there's some scotches that I do enjoy. Some of the peated stuff we were clearly not fans of.
Evidently not. But
however, I'm digging the Irish whiskeys, so I'm liking this.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
This will be fun, and we do have a special guest tonight too, actually, which is great. So we do have Sean Scully from Clonakilty Distillery coming on in a few minutes, which we're stoked about. He's going to tell us his story. Yeah. I mean, this goes back generations. The facility is just out of this world. The location.
You're already ready to.
No, I'm so stoked. And then later we have a local to us, like almost Mid-Atlantic. I guess you can consider Ohio Mid-Atlantic.
Ohio?
Yeah,
not
Ohio,
really.
close.
Not really, not at all. But that's
close
okay.
enough.
Not at all.
They're not breadbasket. They're not Midwest. I don't know. Well, they're just there. They're Ohio.
Sure.
Right?
Andy.
So we have our friend Stacy from Four Leaf. She is an Irish whiskey guru. So Stacy's here, which is going to be really cool. So
she's in the chat. Excited. Maybe our mods can throw her link out. Everybody, please subscribe to Stacy's channel, and also all of our mods, please put up the links to Clonakilty. You can get their stuff. In fact, Andy, I was out today. I saw the port finish and the Katakan Creek out at Harbor Liquor, so it's out. You can definitely get all the stuff we're drinking tonight.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eyes out for it now too, and I've my collection of Clonakilty has grown already, which is nice. So I've got
that's a good thing.
Three bottles here,
and
we're actually going to be giving one away tonight. Plus, we have some glasses from Sean, which is cool. We got giveaways, all kinds of fun stuff. Tonight's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time.
There you go. Yes.
So Todd, anything before we get started that you want to, any news of the week or anything you want to?
Not news of the week. I just want, if you have, and I know Christopher David mentioned he has some Clonakilty. If you have Clonakilty, and as we go through, we're going to be sampling 5 different ones tonight. I'd love for you to tell us what you're sipping on. What you think of it, kind of review it with us, right? I mean, that's the whole thing here. And if you've not had Clonakilty, stick around because 1, you could win one, and 2, I think you're going to get a good idea of what they have to offer and the passion that Sean has for expanding in the U.S. And they're already here, but all the things that they have going on, I can't wait to talk about. So super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, and Irish whiskey is on the rise. We're going to talk about that too, which is really going to be fun. So it's a growing field, and I think for good reason. So the more that we can expose our viewers to some of the good stuff out there, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I think the better. So that's going to be great.
Look, we already have questions. We already have questions and everything like that. We already got questions. We'll have Sean answer all this stuff, and then of course Stacy is an expert. She's probably in the chat already answering some of those questions. So I can't wait to get to it. We'll certainly go through. So if you do have questions for Sean or even Stacy or us, I don't know how we would answer them, but put them in the chat. We'll bring them up, and
we'll get to it. So, all right. So, then I guess without further ado,
do it.
We're gonna bring up our guest for the evening. But before I do that, we're gonna paint a picture for you here. Okay. So sit back, indulge. I want you all to kind of see. This isn't just this location is going to blow your mind. So I'm going to play a clip for you guys just to kind of paint the picture of what you guys are getting tonight, which is why this is also so cool. And of course, I've never been to Ireland, but man, do I want to go. And this makes me want to go even more.
You're already making your plans.
I am. I've already told my wife, like, I think we should go out there. I may pretend like, oh yeah. Sean says it's all taken care of. He's going to fly us out in the whole 9 yards.
Sure.
Yeah. and then I'll just take out the credit card and pay and be like,
and it'll meet you at the distillery. It'll look totally legit too, right? Totally legit.
It'll all be on the up and up.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, so enjoy, guys, and please share out, bring your friends in. We would love to have a lot of people here tonight to support Clonakilty and Sean. This is going to be fun, but take a look at this.
Clonakilty Distillery is located in County Cork, on the southern tip of the Irish Atlantic coast, in an area of incredible natural beauty. Our fields at the foot of the Gallyhead Lighthouse are the perfect environment to nurture and grow the finest of barley, exclusively for our own uniquely Irish single pot still whiskey. Centuries of sea mist, soft rain and ocean spray provide a complexity to the soil that permeates right through to each individual grain. Our Atlantic Ocean warehouse, perched on the cliff edge, is where we mature the finest of whiskies. Pure, clean air, transported across thousands of miles of Atlantic Ocean, providing a freshness unspoilt by human intervention. This is a place with a unique and special diversity of climate. It is ever-changing, from the wild Atlantic storms to the tranquil sea mist and soft Irish rain. In this dynamic climate, a whiskey will only sleep for a short while, instead interacting with the wood and the angels to develop a unique and distinct maritime flavour. The water we use to cut our whiskey is drawn from deep within the untouched rock formations by our ocean cliffs. It's naturally filtered through layers of sandstone and barite, one of the hardest rocks known to mankind. Cold, unadulterated freshness, generously gifted by Mother Nature herself. We draw inspiration for our spirits from this special marine environment, shared with the majestic Minky Whale. Clonakilty Distillery founders, the Scully family, has farmed this coastal land for 8 successive generations. As custodians, we trust our soil, our Atlantic maritime climate, and our untouched water aquifers. The time has now come to give something back, to share, to craft spirits that feed the soul. We invite you to join with us on this very special journey.
Now, if that doesn't make you want, I guess, Andy, you're right. That makes me want to go right now.
I mean, I know. I just felt like I had to do it. I said just to paint the picture of just how amazing it is. So, without further ado, the co-founder of Clonakilty Distillery out of Cork, Ireland, Sean Scully. Sean, what's going on? How are you?
Welcome, bro.
Hi guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh man,
pleasure's ours, man. Thank you for being here tonight. This is fun. We're excited.
Excited. I'm ready. We're ready to go to Ireland. That is just absolutely beautiful, and I love the fact that that's who you guys are. I love that whole. It gives you a great background as to where you come from. So, thanks for coming on, and cheers. First of all, wow. I mean, amazing.
Yeah,
right,
cheers, Slointe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Now, how do we say that correctly? I want to say that correctly.
Slointe.
Slointe. Okay.
Slointe.
I'll
butcher that all night, but that's good. Slointe.
That's Todd. You will butcher that. You're not good with that. But that's look, I tell you. So you grew up in Ireland, and that was home to you. That's a pretty place to work. I'm not going to lie to you. That I wouldn't mind going there every day to go to work. That's right there off the Atlantic. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you don't really appreciate it until you leave it, to be honest. So yeah, you saw the Gallyhead Lighthouse there. I can see that from my the front door. Walk out the door and you see the Gallyhead Lighthouse. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, you kind of have to leave the place to really appreciate the true beauty of it. So I'm here. I'm in Portland, Oregon right now. I've been here for a couple of years, and it's beautiful here as well. Not too unsimilar from home in Ireland, but equally it's obviously very different in lots of senses as well.
Oh, I'm sure. But now you've left the land of a million pubs, because I think Cork has more pubs than anywhere else, even than Dublin in Ireland, to the land of 10 million breweries, because there's over 200 in Oregon. So at least if you're a beer fan, you got to go from Cork to Portland. That's not the worst thing in the world. So
no, not at all. Yeah, big beer fan. I mean, I never heard that about Cork. That could well be true. I believe it.
Look at that, Andy, dropping knowledge.
Hey, yeah, I saw that. I don't know where. I think I saw it on the Food Channel or something like that. But they said, yeah, they're like Cork has more pubs than Dublin. It's like the leading. So I said, well, that's cool too. That's pretty neat.
Well, it's the biggest county in Ireland, so that makes a lot of sense. Second biggest city.
Oh, Andy, there you go. Brandon in Delaware said he's been diving deep into Irish lately, so this is perfect. Well, sit back, Brandon, pour some hopefully Clonakilty, and let's talk about you guys. So, Sean, one of the questions I have is you mentioned you're out in Portland. But let's step back before. Let's talk about the history of Clonakilty and how it started. We mentioned that a little bit there, but how long you've been around, and sort of how did you get up started, and sort of the migration to the U.S. But let's start back to where it first started. How did that happen?
Yeah, so I suppose the first, like, the initial idea of Clonakilty Distillery came about probably about 2013 or 2014. So both my parents were looking to start a new business. We're farmers by trade originally, as you saw in that video. So it's a dairy farm that we own. So that dairy farm has been in our family for 9 generations, 350 years. And it's something that we're obviously very proud of. And hopefully will be in our family for generations and generations to come. But yeah, we wanted to start a new business. We wanted to be something local where we can provide jobs in the locality. And to be honest, we really wanted to showcase, what we can do from our farming expertise. We have the expertise to grow grains, albeit we didn't really grow that many grains before we started the distillery back up again. Historically, on the farm, there would have been grains that would have been grown, but for the last maybe 100 years or so, it's predominantly dairy. Okay. So we wanted to make something from the farm. We're kind of messing around with some sort of product that might be like whey based, derived from our cows, and we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. And then we saw the Irish whiskey renaissance come about, and we're like, this is a great opportunity to start growing our own grains and making our own Irish whiskey. So we decided that we're going to start an Irish whiskey distillery in Clonakilty, growing our own grains on the edge of the ocean, and then tying in our dairy farm by making our gin from whey, which is traceable back to our own cows on that farm.
That's fantastic. And that maritime climate and where you are, I think is probably going to impart a unique flavor too with what you're growing, which the terroir is what kind of delivers the uniqueness of the flavors, and you guys have got an abundance of really unique offerings there, which is nice, and can impart some different flavors in the whiskeys and other spirits you do too. So that's pretty neat too.
Yeah, no, it's we try and keep everything like as in-house as possible. So starting off with the grain, we're laying down single pot still Irish whiskey right now. And we've been distilling that since 2019, March of 2019. So that just became 3 years old, and we're going to sample that later on today. It's unreleased.
Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we grow that grain on the edge of the ocean by the Gallyhead Lighthouse, like in as you saw in that video, right on the edge of the ocean. So the fact that it's growing so close to the ocean, we're hoping that kind of almost like a sea salt salinity will be imparted in the grain. And also, it's not the ideal place to grow some barley. It's very, Ireland, especially the southwest coast of Ireland, is one of the most windy places, in the world almost. So that barley really gets battered down, and the salinity from that sea salt, air and water, it's not the ideal growing conditions for barley. So ultimately, there's not as much starch present in the barley to be turned into fermentable sugars. It's more husky barley. Okay. But it's for us, it's not about the yield that we get from the barley. It's about kind of doing something outside the box. We're not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but it's when it's older, like 7 or 8, 9 years old. But at 3 years old right now, it's absolutely beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have the grains growing by the edge of the ocean, and then our maturation warehouse is right at the edge of the ocean as well. And we can get into that later on, I suppose. But yeah, we grow the grains on the edge of the ocean, and we bring it into the town of Clonakilty, where we distill them at our distillery. If you guys want some background on the distillery, it was originally built in 2008 to be a bank, and that bank went into receivership in so it went into receivership because of the financial crash, and that never materialized. It became an Irish speaking Gael school where the kids speak Gaelic on lunch. All their classes are taught through Gaelic, and that they were there for a couple of years, and then it became available to buy, and we snapped it up. We have all production there, visitor center. There's a restaurant on site, gift shop.
That's cool.
The whole shebang.
So you left all that though because you guys are blowing up. You're doing great, and you have to go to Dad, and he says, "All right, time for you to pack your bags, son, and head overseas." So how is that kind of journey and leaving such a beautiful place that you were so used to, and kind of spreading the word of Clonakilty Distillery to everyone here in America, where it's not. Irish whiskey is growing, and actually it's growing quickly. It's supposed to outpace Scotch in a few years, but it's a field where there's still a lot of education to be imparted onto people. So how was that transition for you?
It was pretty easy. I mean, I've spent a good few years in the States, kind of hopping back and forward. Younger years, just doing an odd summer here. My initial introduction to Oregon was, I did a year abroad studying. I went to University College Cork for 3 years of my college degree, and I spent a year abroad studying at Oregon State University. So that was my first introduction to Oregon, and then went home for a while, graduated, came back, worked for a local distillery here in Portland, and then we opened a distillery in Ireland. I spent a year or two at home, launched Clonakilty as a brand in the Dublin market, and then I've a girlfriend here as well. We did long distance for a while, so that was kind of pulling me back.
There it is. There's the reason. There's the true reason, Andy. We got the heart of it.
Yeah. So
it wasn't Dad kicking. It was like, Dad, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
We have his girlfriend to thank for the expansion in the U.S. market. I think that's a beautiful thing right there. I love that. I love it.
Yeah. So she's great, awesome. And Oregon's a great state to be in as well. People love their whiskey here. They're looking for a story as well, and I think we have that story to be able to tell. So it's a great market for us.
A lot of good beer up there as well. So yeah, definitely some drinkers, no doubt about it.
Now, have you been to the East Coast over here? Have you been our neck of the woods yet?
Yeah. I've been to the East Coast, not for like an extended period of time, but yeah, I've been to plenty.
Andy, are you inviting Sean? Is that what you're doing? You're inviting Sean. That was
he's flying us out to Cork. We might as well at least let him come to
somehow.
I
think
and hang
a trip to Baltimore is not the same as a trip to Ireland. But hey,
might be getting a better deal on that.
We'll do a house swap or something, will we?
There you go. Yeah, we'll take him to a Raven game because he is a Raven fan. So
that's right. We'll get into that too. But of all the teams, you're a Raven fan too, huh? So that's
you hear that, Joe Graves?
We instantly became friends. That was what was cool.
That's right. Yeah,
we got a lot of Ravens fans watching, which is
we'll talk about that when we start drinking. How he became a Ravens fan, which is a fun story. But that's amazing. So Andy, are you thirsty yet? Because I'm kind of thirsty. We're 21 minutes into this, and I haven't drank any Clonakilty. I mean, what the heck?
That's true. Okay, so we so I think we said we were going to start with a double oak. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. That's what I've poured in there.
All right, let me pour my double oak.
So, Sean, tell us a little about the double oak and I guess one of your core offerings. Tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, so our double oak, I suppose I'll show you the bottle.
Yeah, Stacy too, Andy. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have someone in the basement that's supposed to be drinking with us.
Yep, we'll bring Stacy up too.
I apologize.
Hold on one second. As I'm pouring and trying to. So we also want to introduce as we get ready to sample. No, that's okay. Our good friend Stacy from 4 Leaf Whiskey. She is here. She is here to make sure that we don't say anything incorrectly because
we will.
She knows more than we do. So, but also if you haven't checked out her channel yet, really good content, especially if you are looking to find out more about Irish whiskey. It's definitely a place that we would recommend you going. So please welcome also Stacy from 4 Leaf Whiskey. Stacy, what's up?
Stacy.
Hey, Slancha.
How do you say it again? I've already forgotten how to say it. Slancha.
Slancha.
There you go.
Spell
Todd.
that for me. Spell it.
Slaint.
Oh, I always thought it was Salante. This is Slaint. I've seen that word before. Didn't know how to say it. Shocker, right, Andy?
Not only does he mispronounce things, he misspells things. He's like the trifecta of like just making sure encoding doesn't work. So, yeah.
All right. So there you go.
But
Slancha. Anyway,
so
cheers, Stacey. Thanks for coming on with us. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys.
All right. So you have the double oaked, right, Stacey?
I do not, but I have had it. Yeah.
Oh, you've had it. Okay, Sean. So go back into the double oak, Sean.
Tell us about that. I'm going to throw a slide up so you guys can see what we're sipping on here. But yeah, tell us a little bit about the double oak.
Yeah, so our double oak is our flagship whiskey. It's probably the most complex of our whiskeys to explain. There's a lot going on with it, but it's a blended Irish whiskey. So it's about a 9-year-old grain, 11-year-old malt blend, about 60% malt, 40% grain, and it's finished in technically 3 different casks, even though it's called a double oak. So it's initially matured in ex-bourbon casks, like all of our whiskeys, and then it's finished off after that into two double oak casks. So first one is virgin American oak, which will obviously give you, your vanilla, your caramel, your charred oak spice coming through, all those nice elements that you guys are well used to being bourbon drinkers. And then after that, we finish it off in a very unique cask called a Neoc Cask. So it's spelled NEOC, stands for New Era of Cask. It's basically a shaved and lightly retoasted Bordeaux red wine cask.
That sounds good.
And it's the notes it contributes are more kind of nutty notes. You get like hazelnuts and almonds, and a nice kind of creaminess to it as well. So it contributes a really creamy palate. Really rounds out the whiskey. But yeah, it's a really unique cask. It's different to your normal shaved and retoasted casks because it's actually hand shaved. Normally on for a shaved and retoasted cask, it's done on a kind of rotary basis by machine. This thing just comes straight into the cask and zaps it all up, creates a ton of sawdust, which can actually clog the capillaries in the wood and might inhibit the whiskey kind of coming in and out of the wood to pull out all those wonderful flavors. So these casks are hand shaved with the grain, so you have nice clean shavings, so no sawdust, so none of those capillaries are clogged, and also the staves in the cask are about 1.5 times thick, as 1.5 times as thick as a standard bourbon cask would be. So again, you can get more penetration of that whiskey into that wood.
It smells fantastic. Have you got nose on this, Todd?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I get I also get a lot of like sort of like apple and pear notes in it too. So I love that sort of nice fruitiness, that clean fruitiness. I certainly get the vanilla too.
But do you get some? I get some wood notes too, like almost like you walk into like it sounds crazy, but like into like a wood shop or something like that. Like someone's like just like doing a fresh cut of something. Like you get a little bit of those notes kind of coming through. And I don't usually use that as like a descriptor for what I'm. But I mean,
here's what I like though.
I like it.
I like how it's sweet up front. Sort of, I get some of that vanilla custardy, like the creaminess you were talking about, Sean. That fruit apple, I get that apple pear sort of, and then I think you mentioned almonds. That's put in my head now. I get that as well. But the finish I love, Andy. There is a bit of a cinnamon there.
Did you already drink it, Todd?
Yeah, I already drank it.
I'll say cheers to you guys.
I'm drinking it. I love the nice little spice hug to it on the finish. I mean, I was at 86 proof. I love that the finish kind of goes a little bit there. It changes and you get that little hug and spice cinnamon finish on the end there. That's what I really love, especially as a bourbon drinker. So really enjoy this. What do you think?
Oh, that's good. Wow.
You're getting a lot of the same notes I get. I get the pear and the cinnamon big time.
Mm-hmm. I love the pear up front and it finishes with that cinnamon.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
You get the pitted fruit notes going through, but man, that is.
Now, Andy, didn't you say you were sipping? Were you sipping on this with your wife, or was it something? Maybe it was the port.
Well, no. So, my wife is Portuguese. So when we did the Portuguese, she was all about like let me try the port cask finish. But I give her a bourbon. It's like nope, put that away.
Right.
She really enjoyed it. So we'll get.
Maybe I need to try Tina with this because she's the same way with bourbon.
Yeah, this is.
I think. Good. Well, But I do
Thank
like
you,
this,
Joe.
though.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, is anyone in the chat? I don't know if Christopher David still does anyone in the chat have any Clonakilty that they're drinking? Cone N had a question. I think is Clonakilty sourced by Cooley for now, and I'll let Sean answer that. The question about sourcing.
Yeah, we don't disclose where we're sourcing our whiskey from right now, unfortunately. But
there you go.
Yeah,
but
so
their own juice is coming, right?
Exactly, our own juice is coming. It's 3 years old right now. We're hoping
it's coming tonight because we're going to sip on it, which I can't wait. Which is going to be really exciting.
So we'll get to that in a second. But it reminds me almost, Andy, of a local for us, Sagamore Spirits. Sean, I'm sure you've heard of Sagamore. It's right in our backyard. They start up, they source all their stuff, but now they're starting to put out their own juice, and that's where the beauty of this is seeing, and even Bardstown, certain places are doing it as well, where they're starting to make their own juice and getting to that point where it's no longer sourced and you're not blending. And how is that? Is that a process where? How do you make a determination of where the whiskey for age? This is a 3-year. When will this? We'll get to it, but how do you make the decision of when your own juice will go out to the public and you'll stop sourcing?
I mean, it's just down to the quality of the spirit, initially, the plan was to not release the single pot still to at 2026. And, I only tried the 3-year-old for the first time a couple months ago. And, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I hope you guys will enjoy it later on tonight, but it's progressing a lot faster than we expected. So we're going to release that in 2024 right now. That's the plan. So we've kind of moved up that release date.
Oh, right.
It's all to do with thank you. It's all to do with the quality of the spirit and when we think it's ready to go, and we're confident that it's going to be there in 2024.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Great.
We're gonna drink that 3-year single pot. So, and I have questions about that. But Andy, getting back to this double oak. So this is, Sean, one of your core offerings. If you're in the States, this is available, right?
Yeah. So we're in
easily.
We're in 15 states so far around that. Okay. Oregon, California on the West Coast. Then most other states are, we're in Missouri, and then most other states are just right up and down the East Coast. So our double oak is our flagship, like I said. So
I love that, Andy.
That's awesome. And look, don't fret here for you states that don't get it, because tonight's giveaway.
Yeah.
Just saying,
Andy, we're giving away. Look at this.
We're going to give away here. I'm going to pull this up so you can see.
Andy, what do you got, brother?
But this is the DC Glory. I was sipping on that to start the day.
Oh, Sean,
you want to tell us a little bit about this, because this is dynamite, by the way.
Yeah, so I've actually never even had that one myself, but that's a collaboration with Old Glory DC, which is the Major League Rugby team in Washington DC.
And you're a rugby guy, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Sidebar, Sean's a good rugby player, and he gave up a night of playing with rugby tonight to hang out with us.
With everybody.
I wouldn't say good now, but I tried to play at least.
We are like that, Sean. We're all.
Well, you're gonna get the.
So tell me about that whiskey, though.
What's
this? What's special about that whiskey? Is there? I mean, the collaboration.
I'm actually not even sure which one that is. That's the captain's bottle, right?
This is the one done that's finished in the Bordeaux cask.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And is it cask strength, or is it what ABV is it?
This is 46% ABV.
Okay. Yeah.
The center cut. Yeah. Cask finish series. Bordeaux. I think it was the Bordeaux cask. Yeah.
Yeah. We did two. The reason I don't know about that one is because we did 2 releases for Old Glory. There was that, which is the captain's bottle, and after every Old Glory rugby match, they would present the other team who, like, the other teams. It wasn't necessarily the man of the match, but who kind of epitomized, fair play and sportsmanship and had a really good performance. They would give them a bottle of that whiskey as a token of their appreciation. And we also had another rum cask finish released with Old Glory, and that was
that's cool.
Yeah, that was.
There you go, Jay.
We were giving away a trip to Ireland with that guy as well. But I suppose I have to mention as well, if people are looking to purchase bottles right now, through our website, you can go directly to our shop, but that's actually the wrong shop to shop through right now. That shop will be launching like next week. We're transitioning between shops. Okay. So it's the shop that you guys can shop through currently is shopclonakilty.com.
All right.
Or else sipirish.com, SIP-Irish.com.
Right, somebody can type much better than us. Mod, Amy, I'm looking at you. Somebody put that in there.
Toddle misspell that. So
I'm
that's if you put that in, that's great.
Shop I'm sorry.
Do you want me to type it in?
That'd be
it's
amazing.
probably best, Sean. I'm sorry we're making you work.
Or else
Todd's
you're not going to get any sales for my.
He's not going to get that right.
Well, I'll just put in sipirish.com. It's perfect as well.
And
you
so
might have gotten that one right, Todd.
Well, that's true. So that's the first one. Listen. Last week, Sean, we were exposed to peated scotches. I'm not a big fan, and we were trying to get past it. I don't think we did. We did find some scotches that we liked that weren't peated. Andy, this is my jam. I totally get why there's 4-leaf whiskey out there. This is the first one we're hit.
I told you this is. I've gone through now. This is my 5th. This will be actually the new release will be my 6th offering from Clonakilty that I've tried, which is really cool. I've liked them all. And look, we're not just blowing smoke here. Like they're really good. They're extremely, and so that's why I'm glad Stacey's here. She can be like, yeah, look, she does this.
Yeah, when I was first trying to get into
really
Irish whiskey, aside from the Jameson and the Bushmills and the IDL, Clonakilty was the first one I got exposure to.
So why is that? How is that? You just grabbed it and you tried it. It was readily available for you, and you just went with it. Right?
Yeah, it was readily available, and somebody had it and had raved about it, and so I was somewhere where I ordered a bottle and. Like, man, this stuff is really good, and that kind of dove me down the rabbit hole.
So, are you also a bourbon fan too? Though, will you drink bourbon, Stacey?
I do. I'm learning. I actually, thanks to whiskey too, I own more bourbon than I've ever owned in my life right now.
It's a perfect marriage, Andy.
So we're gonna have to do you're gonna have to send us some blind flights of Irish whiskey one night, and we'll send you some. We'll send you some blind flights of bourbon, and we'll do that. We'll just we'll have a little night where we do that. That'll be fun. But I'll tell you, this is good. So back to what the giveaway is tonight. Just want to say this again.
Oh, yes.
So,
I'm cleansing my palate.
I have 2 bottles. I do have. So I'm sipping on this now. This is the DC, or I was this earlier today, the Old Glory. It's fantastic. So I can personally say this is a really good bottle, and so this will be coming your way. Plus, Sean, I think you said a couple glasses from Clonakilty too. Yes,
you got something to drink in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the winner will get 2 glasses. Is that what you said, Sean? You got 2 glasses up for sale? Or what do we have here? 1? What do we have?
Were they sent to you already, or are we sending them separately?
Oh, I don't know, Andy. Did you get sent something that I didn't get, Andy?
Not the glasses, no.
Okay.
So
yeah, we can send off 2 glasses.
Beautiful.
Awesome, very cool. So that'll be fun. So you get 2 glasses, which will be really neat, and then you got a bottle that's coming your way. So that'll be fun. But all right, so we're 1 for 1 because this double oak is fantastic. All right, before we jump in and do the port, because I think the port is next. Sean and Amy, Stacey, you can jump in too. Just saw Amy's post. Kevin, give us a little bit of I guess for those who don't really know much about Irish whiskey, what makes this different from what they may be drinking now, whether it's a bourbon or a rye? Tell us a little bit about like the process with Irish whiskey. It just makes it a little bit different, kind of in layman's terms, for those who are just like really dipping their toes into it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like where to start. I mean, as a general consensus about Irish whiskey, like it's a very approachable, spirit. It's triple distilled, so it's very smooth, easy drinking. It's also very easy to work with in terms of like cask finishing, which you'll see with our whiskeys. So you have a double oak finish, which is finished in multiple barrels. Port cask finish we'll be sampling a rye cask finish. We have beer cask finishes ranging from IPA to stout, you name it. So it's very much workable in that sense. But yeah, I mean it's a beautiful category in terms, like if you want to lay out the different styles of Irish whiskey, you'll have single malt, you have single grain, which is corn. You have blended Irish whiskey, which is a blend of your corn and your malt, and then you'll also have your single pot still Irish whiskey. And single pot still Irish whiskey is the most unique of all those SKUs, all those styles to Irish whiskey. There's no single pot still whiskey in Scotland. There's a couple of American distilleries doing single pot still, but they're Irish American distilleries. So it's very much Irish, and it's very unique. It's malted and unmalted barley in the mash bill. So it's kind of spicy and really fruity, tons of depth in there, wonderful mouthfeel. And that's what we're laying down now in Clonakilty is single pot still Irish whiskey. So your bourbon, I know you guys are big bourbon drinkers, and I like my bourbon as well. I'm not huge into it, but it's restrictive in the sense that it has to be matured in virgin American oak,
right?
And we get those barrels once the bourbon distilleries are finished with them. We get them sent to Ireland, and they're also sent to Scotland, and they're ex-bourbon casks. They're a bit softer again. Mm-hmm. So again, you still get those vanillas, those caramel notes coming through, but it's a bit more soft. You don't get all those kind of wood tannins kind of taking over the whiskey.
That's awesome. I was surprised by how much bourbon drinkers, when you really get into it, can sometimes be off-put by lower proofs. And this is where I found the biggest distinction for me between an Irish whiskey and an American whiskey.
Okay.
So if I get an 80 proof Basil Hayden, it's just not my thing. It tastes to me, watered down. I'm not getting the depth and complexity that I want in a bourbon. So when I saw the proofs that were kicking on most of these Irish whiskeys, I was like, gosh, give me something that's bigger than this, because the ABV was scaring me a little bit. But then you have them, and they are viscous. The mouthfeel is good. It does all the things that you have a good bourbon do to you, but at a much lower ABV, and it's approachable. And so I was like, wow, this doesn't exist with your lower proof bourbons all that much. I'm not saying I don't like lower proof bourbons, Todd. I know you are go big or go home a lot of times.
Well,
the ABVs, but I like some lower proof bourbons, but really low proofs in the 80s I struggle with. It's got to be almost you got to be 90, a little plus or above. It's not like that with the Irish whiskey. Some of these lower proofs are absolutely fantastic. They taste great. You're right. They're approachable, but they're not lacking in complexity, but that's the thing that really was blown away by. I was like, these things are very complex whiskeys at a lower approachable proof. And I can see why more and more people would like that, would really, especially if they're getting into whiskeys for the first time. It's just absolutely, they're great.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and we do a range of stuff. Our core range is 43.6% ABV up to our new single malt is 46% ABV. But we're really rolling out barrel picks now throughout America and in the world, and most of them are bottled at 58% ABV. So they're way up there, and they're really unique SKUs, exciting ones as well, because they're our regular core lineup is double oak, port cask, and a single malt Bordeaux cask finish. Whereas instead of just sticking to those for our barrel picks, you can get stout cask barrel picks, cognac, Armagnac, ruby port, tawny port, you name it, it's all out there. But coming back to the discussion on the lower proof bourbons and stuff like that, I agree that our double oak has a beautiful mouthfeel to it, and that's not by chance either. We do different processes to make sure we have that mouthfeel and retain it, through distillation, through blending, all the way till it hits store shelves. One of them is called the gentle cut. So that's a process by which we cut down our whiskey very slowly over the time of about 2 to 3 weeks. Most big distilleries would do this over even an hour or less, but we really take our time with it, and we use our own well water from the family farm. So again, trying to keep everything as in-house as possible. So what that does is normally if you dump water into your blending tanks, it creates a lot of heat, and that heat can actually damage the delicate congeners in the whiskey. So we add a couple gallons day by day over the process of about 2 to 3 weeks, to slowly proof it down from cask strength all the way down to our bottling strength. Keeps all those natural kind of delicate congeners again, like I was saying, but also contributes a nice more creamy palate to the whiskey itself.
So whoever's walking out with the Old Glory DC today, this is the gentle cut. It says right here on there. So
yeah.
So you'll be walking out with that, which is really cool. I like
Andy,
that.
Andy, Kathy and Joe already want to go to Ireland with us, and we're gonna bring Stacey along with us. We're gonna meet up with Sean, and I guess we have an open tour right there. Sean will make it happen for us, Kathy, no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a brand new distillery, state of the art. I definitely would go check it out. It's on the Wild Atlantic Way, so it's just plenty to do down by where we are. So you can do a tour of the distillery, and then hop in your car. You can head out to the Gallyhead Lighthouse to see our barley fields where we grow our grain. And it's a great day out. So please come visit us.
And Sean, you mentioned earlier about your warehouse where you house all the barrels and how it's close to the sea. Let's talk about that a little bit and what that does for the whiskey. Being that climate and sort of close to that salt air and stuff like that. What does that do for the whiskey?
Yeah, we boast one of the closest maturation warehouses to the ocean in all of Ireland. So it's based on the family farm. It's about 150 yards from the cliff's edge, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. And it's all about that, the proximity to the ocean and the fact that sea salt air should really interact with the casks and the whiskey as it matures. The double oak, for instance, like that hasn't been sitting here for that long, so you won't pick up that kind of sea salt influence on this whiskey. And even on the 3-year-olds, it's not very distinguishable. But when it's 7, 8, 9 years old, who knows? We do expect there will be that salinity influence on the product, and we're not exactly sure how it'll come out, but we're confident it's going to be really unique, and it'll lend itself well to the spirit we're producing.
Nice. Well, Andy, are you ready to try another one? Stacey,
are
you ready? Stacey, I know Stacey's ready to drink.
All right, so
let's move on.
The other one we were going to do was the port cask, correct?
Yeah, we can move on to that one.
Okay, so Todd,
this one has such an amazing color. It's almost like a rose gold.
Yeah, it does. Out of all our core SKUs, I love this color.
Oh. So I've been to Portugal. I've sipped on many after dinner ports with my wife's family. We have it around the holidays. I like port. It's an acquired taste for people who aren't used to it, but I love everything finished in port. I think it's a great spirit for whiskeys to be finished in. And yeah, my wife, who was not a whiskey drinker, I said, you got to try this.
Andy texted me last night. He's like, you're not going to believe this, but Jackie sat down and we're sipping on the port finish and she wants more. I'm like, whoa, that's a true sign right there. We've got a winner, Andy.
And I've tried. I've been like,
pretty slope, Andy.
Try this. And I'd be like, try and smell. This is what it was. Last week when we were trying the peated scotches and everyone was like, can't you get the vanilla icing out of that? And can't you get all these things? We're like, no, we're getting Band-Aids and wet tires.
Rubber,
like we could not get past it.
Couldn't do it.
But that's what it was like when I would explain like tasting bourbon to my wife. But when I was like, all right, we'll try this. It's an Irish whiskey. It's finished in port cask. And she's like, this is really, really good. I was like, you're kidding me, right? She's like, no, this is fantastic. I was like, I know. I told you. It's like, see, I got to get something right eventually. But yeah, this is. All right,
tell us, Sean, a little bit about the port finish. What are we looking at? Andy, you have a slide to put up or a picture of the bottle?
Oh, I do. Thanks, Todd, for reminding me. I do have a slide, so you guys can see this.
So this is our Clonakilty port cask finish. Again, it's a blended Irish whiskey, so same blend as the double oak. But it's been finished, so matured ex-bourbon again, and then finished in ruby port casks from the Douro Valley in Portugal. So it's only finished in those port casks about 3 or 4 months. Anything longer than that, it becomes overly kind of sweet and sickly. So we didn't want that port influence to kind of just take over the whiskey. We wanted it to complement the spirit. So it's a sweeter whiskey. It's not overly sweet again because it's only 3 to 4 months depending on the batch. So it's a lot more fruity as well. On the nose, I get like lots of apple, again similar to double oak.
I get graham cracker as well. I smell graham cracker.
I get graham cracker and strawberry.
No, yeah.
Like strawberry jam.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I like better nose wise. Hold on.
They're both really pretty. They're both different, but they're both beautiful.
And literally, it's like strawberry pie. It's like strawberry with the vanilla and the graham cracker crust.
Oh, Fat Tony, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, you tried it. Cheers. Oh, Solange. How do you say it again?
Sláinte. Yeah, and then on the palate, it's dark fruits in abundance. Cherries, raisins.
Yep, absolutely.
More of obviously vanilla coming through, and then on the finish, a nice kind of hit of kind of like wood spice. I really enjoy that wood spice finish because it actually rounds out the sweetness up front. Because I'm not a fan of overly sweet whiskeys, like I said. So it's that lends itself.
It's very similar to the double oak, where you had that finish on it, which is sort of that spice.
Well, I think there's a little bit more spice going on the back end of this, which is what I like. This reminds me a little bit. We're going to get to the Katakan Creek because it was aged in rye
honey
barrels.
too, though. I get honey on this.
I love that the back end of this has a little bit of spice on it, which I really like because you get all those fruit notes on the palate. Like I agree with you about the strawberries on this, Stacey. I think you get all that on the fruit palate, but then you do get the dark fruits up front. Then you get some really nice spicy pepper notes on the back when it goes down, which are really pretty.
Yeah, which bottle is this? Great. This is the port finish. Andy, you want to show the bottle again? Real quick. Joe wants to know which bottle this is.
And Joe, this is at Dawson's, man. If you want to,
it is right. I saw it today. It's there.
Yeah, I'm getting the cherry and the raisin and honey and just a little hint of anise at the end. Or anise.
Yeah, you know what? There is that, and that's
is that tomato, Stacey, anise or anise? Because I call it anise too. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, cilantro. Well, I can't say that. I always thought it was cilantro. I
think what is that? I think of the Married with Children. What was Christina Applegate's? What was her name on the show? Something Bundy. What was her name?
I don't know.
Somebody knows this. Kelly Bundy. When she was in the commercial, the new Alante. Then she was doing that commercial. That's now what you're talking about, Todd. That's what I'm thinking about.
All right, so that's interesting.
I'm getting a little chocolate too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
definitely. And this pairs with some good dark chocolate, and you have a winner right there.
Oh yeah,
this is fantastic.
What's the proof on this, Andy? What's the proof? I'm curious. Again, I like the finish on this. That's what I love. It's there. It doesn't fall off real quick.
A little bit higher. It's
the same proof
86
as the double
86 proof. Yep. Or 87 proof. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it drinks bigger. I think that's what I like. It is you have some of these low to high to mid 80s bourbons, and they feel very soft. This drinks bigger than this, which I really like. It gives you a full mouthfeel. I just there's enough viscosity there that it works. I like it.
Co has a question. I don't think they can add color in Ireland, but I'm not sure. Can you add color to your whiskey, Sean?
You can, but we don't do any of that stuff. We're just doing whiskeys as should be. Something unique we also do with our whiskeys is we practice minimal filtration. So initially, when we were bottling our whiskeys, we filtered to industry standard, which is about 6 or 7 microns. All our whiskeys are, first of all, they're non-chill filtered, which is great. So when we filter that industry standard, it stripped away all that wonderful color, the port cask, like you're talking about, Stacey. The port cask was actually our first bottling, and all that ruby red color was just stripped away. And also, a lot of the flavor congeners were stripped out by that small filter as well. You could see on the filter itself, there was a film of kind of almost is basically just kind of sediment, I suppose, and oil congeners. And that was all in the filter. So we decided to open it up to about 30 microns. So that's actually big enough that some char from the casks may pass through sometimes into their bottles, but we're completely okay with that because it allows you to keep those oily elements in the whiskey. And again, I think that makes for that contributes to the mouthfeel at the end of the day.
Yep,
that was the first one I ever had was the port. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So before we move any further, let's get to know Sean a little better. We can throw Stacey and put her on the spot.
I like this, Andy.
Ask a couple questions just to
here we go. This is where it gets fun.
We're going to get away from whiskey for a little bit. Well, first we'll stay whiskey. All right.
All right.
So you're in a pinch, and there's no Clonakilty available. You can't drink that today. Give us your go-to whiskey if you're not drinking your own stuff.
I like it. I like it.
You're going outside of what are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of single pot still. I love everything that Middleton's doing, to be honest. Your Redbreast range, have all those at home here. Your Spot range, I think Green Spot's a fabulous whiskey. So probably going for one of those.
Have you tried any of there's a collaboration between Dylan's whiskey, Heaven's Door, and Redbreast. Have you tried that one?
I haven't. No, I only have the 12.
You love that.
Cast strength and 15.
And
it's very good.
It's really good. I can actually, I can send it out to you if you want. I got you, but yeah, to try it. It's really good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's interesting. Yeah, you do get the redbreast notes on there.
It's really good. All right, Stacey, you're on the spot. What's
you can't drink Irish whiskey. You can't drink Irish
whiskey. What are you drinking?
Yeah, it's a crazy world. There's no
because
Irish
you don't
whiskey.
own a distillery, okay? So it's not like you can see you don't have the 4-leaf brand yet. You're gonna have to tell us what are you drinking outside of.
I'm probably going with either Brooklotic Classic Lottie or Ardbeg Ugdal.
Oh, Ardbeg, Andy, our favorite. Andy, our favorite, Ardbeg.
If you're not going to let me drink another Irish, then yeah.
Oh, well, geez Louise. We're not with you on that one. Ardbeg about killed us last week, Andy.
And that was supposed to be the one that got us into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got the first one, and we were like, oh, crap, we're in trouble.
All right, Sean, so here's our second question for you. If you didn't grow up in the most picturesque place that God created, and you weren't doing what you're doing now as far as working in the whiskey world, what would your other career choice be? What would you be doing? Professional rugby player or whatever? You can be anything. What would you be doing?
The starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens is what he would be.
I'd take that. All right. Yeah. I'd be a Joe Flacco though. I wouldn't be able to move at all.
There you go, Andy. Your best friends.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd love to be a rugby player. I'd love to be a sports player, big sports guy. But I mean, that's not really realistic, to be honest.
Well, that's why this is just a fantasy question. You can, I mean, that's what you want to do. You got it. We're all right with that.
No, I mean, I've always wanted to own my own business. Is the real answer. So, kind of entrepreneurial at heart, I suppose. So, I have no idea what that would be, but I would definitely be doing something entrepreneurial. But
that's great. That's great. Andy, real quick, when we have super chats and they're all trying to get this Clonakilty, Sean, Andy, we have a rock on, but there is another one about being elite that you sometimes play.
That's right. We always say thank you to all of our super chats and people but I have a special one that I only play
Sean
every now and then to say thank you. Sean might like that. So all of you who have donated and you participated, thank you. You guys are elite.
I got a quarterback option with elite sauce.
Elite sauce? That's me. I'm elite.
Joe Flacco is elite. He's elite.
It's our boy Joe.
I love that.
I'm so excited, by the way. Joe Flacco taking on the Ravens in a week.
Is that going to happen? It's not going to be Mike White, is it? It's going to be Joe Flacco?
No, it's not going to be Mike White. Joe is taking on the Ravens. Now, here's a fun fact. We're going to throw this out there. Joe has beaten 30 NFL teams. There's only been 4 quarterbacks in the history of the league that have beaten all 32 teams. Joe, in order to join that club and become the
way to go, Andy. You're jinxing our Ravens.
I hope the Ravens lose.
Oh my God!
Because they'll win a bunch of games after this. That's fine. I just want this
we
one
lose
game
the
for
Jets.
Joe.
We're not winning a bunch of games this year. That's all I'm saying.
We'll be fine. We'll bounce back. If Joe beats the Ravens, he'll have beaten 31 teams. To get to 32, to beat all of them, he will have to beat the Seahawks, who they play the last game of the season. So my hope is a wing and a prayer, but he beats the Ravens week 1. No. The Jets are out of playoff contention by the time week 17 rolls around. They let him start instead of
Why
Wilson.
Would they let him start?
And he beats the Seattle Seahawks minus Russell Wilson.
Let him start?
So he can go for the record. So he can get the record. He'll have
because that's what the Jets care about.
He'll join another elite club, and he will have beaten all 32 teams. That is my wish.
Sean, Andy is the biggest Joe Flacco fan there is. Now listen, we love Joe Flacco. He got us a Super Bowl. I love Joe, but Andy's obsession with Joe Flacco is getting a little bit kind of crazy. I mean, let's be honest.
It's not an obsession. It is just,
yes,
you get attached.
Exactly.
How many more games do we get
Joe.
with how many more games do we get to see your favorite player? He's 38. He's not going to be playing much longer. So I got to support him.
It's a lot of memories with our boys, Joe.
Absolutely. Hey. See, I like that, Sean. I like that.
Oh God, here we see, Sean. You've started something now. Way to go.
I don't know where this came from. Here it comes. I'm not sure where this came from.
I'm sorry, Sean, in advance. Well, no, he's a Raven fan, so he gets it.
He's a Joe Flacco fan. Look at that. Look at
this. Does this happen in every show or what?
Well, he tries to put it in there. Now that he knew that you were a Raven fan, so I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming.
There he is holding that elite. This is fantastic. This is good stuff.
Do you both believe he's elite?
I do.
Yeah. I believe Joe is elite in the playoffs a lot, and he was mediocre everywhere else.
Yeah. So what we need is for Lamar to get us to the playoffs, and then Joe to say, "Okay, Lamar, sit down. You got us here. Take over in January,
crazy,
and then we're good."
That's hilarious. Anyway, let's drink whiskey. All right, enough of this. Let's Andy, the third one. is the Katakan Creek collab. So when Sean, when you first told us that you were doing this, when you said the collabs you were doing, and something that you can talk about the various collabs you're doing, and you mentioned Katakan Creek, Andy and I were both kind of flabbergasted because it's like right in our backyard in Virginia. So, like for instance, here's the Katakan Creek rye, which I think this is kind of was finished in, right? That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, is there another name of that rye? Is it
the Roundstone rye?
Yeah,
that's it right here.
Yeah. So it's
I'll put that up. There you go.
So every state we enter into in the US, we try to pair with normally it's a local distillery, local brewery, my bad. In terms of who we decide to pair up with, ideally we try to have them to be like independent like ourselves, being family owned. That's kind of important to us. We also like them to have a similar brand story to us. I'm not sure if that falls in line with Katakan Creek, but for instance, our collaboration here in Oregon is Pelican Brewing. They're a brewery that all their locations are on the coastline. So that's they're maritime brewery. We're a maritime distillery. They're very much sustainably focused, as are we, and independent, like I said. So it kind of traditionally we're doing these brewery collabs, where we're finishing off in IPA casks, barley wine casks, stout casks. I might have missed a few there, but we've tons of those in the market in their respective states. Katakan Creek is our first distillery collaboration.
So when you real quick, when you mentioned the breweries in the various local areas, so that would then just be that Clonakilty would only be available in that area where the brewery is, or how would that work?
Yeah, well, traditionally, yeah. Some states differ a small bit, so you might have to look around. But with our new website that's going to be launching hopefully next week, we're going to have Manifest Distilling and Bold City collaboration from Jacksonville, Florida, available online. That's going to be a red ale finish, which also is it's a rye cask, which is held a red ale finish.
So up my alley. This is great.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. When
is that coming up?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be hopefully available in about a week or two. But I think moving forward, we're going to push to have a lot of these collaborations online on our store. So, if you're living in Florida, you can have access to the Oregon release or vice versa. So,
I saw a friend of mine, pick up the Pelican Brewing one. Was it Father of All Tsunamis? Is that what it was called?
We the first one we did was Mother of All Storms, which is a English barley wine finish, and the Father of All Tsunamis is an imperial stout finish that we just released a couple months ago.
So Andy, and this is the great thing about this. The Katakan Creek Rounds it's 100% rye whiskey, right? So that's the cool thing. You can pick up that sort of rye characteristics on the nose.
Yeah, it shines really. It shines through on this, which I love.
I even get like a little bit of mint off of it, which is crazy.
I get mint off of it,
right?
Yep. And there's that anise kind of minty note that you get to the black licorice that kind of starts shining on this.
But I still smell that fruit, that apple pear as well. It's dude, I don't know.
I get pear. I get lemon on this a little too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yes. For me as well.
Yeah.
And it's cask strength as well, guys. If you don't know that, it's 62% ABV.
Oh, now
this is one of the big boys. All right,
Let's go.
This is one of the big. So Todd, you're a huge rye guy.
I am,
and you like cask strength. This is right. This is your jam. This is your jam.
The nose is fantastic. Although the nose on all these have been fantastic. Cilantro. Am I saying that right? No, I'm not saying it right. What am I saying? How do you say it?
That was better. That was better.
That's actually good.
Cilantro. All right, cheers. How about
cheers? This really doesn't drink like a 62%, ABV whiskey for me at all.
Not at all.
It's I don't know why the rye cask has softened it up a lot. It's not what I expected. You still get those spicy notes for sure, but it's really rounded it out.
Wow,
it's beautiful.
This is super creamy too, though. That's what I love about this.
Whoa, it really is
beautiful cream out.
But oh man, it's like
vanilla too.
That dash of black pepper on the tongue, man.
Yeah. Whoa.
Do you not get black pepper like that? Just fresh cracked black pepper, just kind of flying back there at the back of the palate. I love that.
I get almost
I'm getting more cinnamon, but
cinnamon. Yeah, I get the cinnamon too. I get total cinnamon
and ginger,
clove, clove. Some of those baking spices, like we talked about, that's probably coming from the Katakan rye.
Wintertime, a hot toddy with this would be flipping phenomenal.
Oh, now you're talking, Stacy.
That would be good.
Wow.
And Todd, Sean wants us all to keep encouraging you to say cheers. The proper way. So
well, he needs to practice, doesn't he? So he'll get it down before we're finished.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm from my last name is Carrick, and there's a town evidently in Ireland called Carrick. So I'm Irish, by the way. So you think I could talk better than this, but I can't.
Well, I think it's Carrick and Shannon. You have to go there and just you have to immerse yourself in the culture.
There you go.
And then you'll come back and you'll be able to pronounce Spanish, right?
See, there you go. See, Andy, Sean and I are
one would think.
It's my homeland, Andy. Come on.
Although, hey, look, I have a little Irish in me.
Oh my God, Andy, that's sacrilegious.
A little Irish in me.
He's as Italian as you get. Okay.
I realize that, but my dad, yes, he's full blown Italian, but mom's got a little Irish. So hey,
about 10%.
I got a little bit.
You have like 5% Irish. Hey, this is my thing, Andy. All right, I'm Irish.
I don't want to take that away from you.
Look at me. I'm Irish. Do I not look Irish? I'm Irish.
Jeez. Not all Irish people burn easily, Todd. Put that. Some Irish people are allowed to go out in the sun.
Or lose all their hair at age 35. Anyway, I love this.
This is fantastic.
My question to Sean, though, is there other distilleries we're looking to do this with? That's my question, because I love this collaboration with American whiskeys and ryes and doing that. What say you?
I know there's some discussions going on, but I don't think anything's finalized as of yet. Can
I put you in contact with Sagamore Spirits?
I was going to say we got some friends here from Sagamore.
Yes,
and I think a little Irish Baltimore collaboration would be.
I mean,
just
the Joe Flacco release.
The Joe Flacco.
How great is that? The Flacco batch. I love it. That'd be great. Well, batch number 5, the Flacco.
We'll put his face on the middle of the bottle as well.
There it is.
Once he retires,
there it is.
Our favorite guest of all time. Sean is officially our favorite guest of all time. So
Stacy, have you had this Katakan Creek yet before?
I have not had this one, no, and this is really good.
As a Irish whiskey fan, that you can certainly taste the American rye whiskey in this. Is that okay with you or what?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really like it. And they're bringing rye back in Irish whiskey. So I really enjoy this. It's different. I like the bump up in proof.
Oh yeah.
This is really nice. Like I said, I'm
so
probably going to be online shopping after this.
I can
we can actually get it for you.
We can get you a bottle. I think
we can get it to you.
I think we can get you
a hold of you.
Yeah. It's readily available here in Maryland.
So, I haven't seen Katakan Creek all over the place, but I know
Harbor Liquors right now. It's Harbor Liquors.
Katakan Creek has good. Well,
it's there today. Yep.
Well, we'll get you a bottle. We'll figure it out. This is good.
Yep.
And that's one of the things I love about Clonakilty. They jumped over in the States and have collaborated with so many breweries, and now the distillery, and you do have other beer finished Irish, but they're doing it over there, not over here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a huge tool for us, and we're so appreciative of everyone who pairs with us and collaborates with us, because they're all as equally enthusiastic about the partnership as we are. We've even sent over we've sent over some whiskey casks to specific breweries in America as well, and they've finished our matured beers in those casks. So it works both ways, and it's great to have those partnerships.
A nice stout in a Clonakilty a barrel, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Exactly. That's how it normally goes. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
No,
there's Christopher Sneed. There's Christopher Sneed. There's our contact. We also know Brian Tracy, who owns Sagamore. But let's figure this out to get a Clonakilty finished Sagamore.
The Flacco batch. How great would that be? Oh my goodness, I love it.
Let's make this happen. We can do
it. Chris, we're networking for you, man.
We're networking. Let's talk to Brian tomorrow.
Clonakilty. We're gonna do this. This will be great.
We've got Clonakilty, Sagamore together. Let's make this happen. All right, come on.
Is Joe Flacco in the chat as well? I think we might need to
he's under an alias, but he's watching. So he's It's not Joe Graves, if you're wondering who but there is definitely someone who, he's in here somewhere.
If it wasn't preseason right now, he'd be in it. He's off the booze for a while.
That's right. The Flacco finish, I love it. We'll call it the January Joe batch. How about that? The January Joe batch.
Oh God, I love that Katakan Creek, Andy. That is
good. That's really good.
Super good. As a rye drinker, I love it. Does drink under its proof. The fact that this is 124 proof.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Is good.
That's
Chris,
crazy.
And Chris, by the way, the answer is always no until you ask. You need to go do your job. Where this is what I've learned in life.
Andy,
Okay,
we'll
the answer is always no until you ask.
We'll just go right to Brian.
We'll
go right to Brian.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're gonna go over your head, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, we're totally going over your head. Sorry, buddy. We're going right to Brian. We have an idea. Let's make this happen.
We have a great idea, but no, this is great.
Right.
Okay, so before we do, I am stoked to try the 3-year. Before we do that, let's do a couple more questions.
Sorry, we didn't get that to you, Stacey.
So I do want to do a couple more questions. Okay, so Cork is a land of 10,000 pubs, and you've got Oregon, which is a land of 10,000 microbreweries. Let's start with you, Sean. Your go-to beer. What is it? What beer do you like to drink?
I mean, it depends on the season. Summertime these days, like obviously, IPAs are in abundance, so often drinking IPAs. If like a good sour is available at a location, I absolutely love a good sour on a warm summer's day.
Man, of my own heart.
Stouts are definitely my thing. I tend to just kind of, when it's warm and stuff, I don't drink as much of them. But when it's stout season in the winter, you can't breathe like a good imperial stout.
Oh
yeah.
Now, Sean, do you like a good barrel aged imperial stout? Maybe. How about that?
To be honest, I find that when it goes. When it's barrel aged for too long, it's just a bit too much for me. To be honest, I like it a small bit kind of. I'm a Guinness drinker.
He's a Guinness drinker. Andy, here's what we do: we bring Sean over. We go talk to our contact at the Baltimore Guinness Open Gate Brewery.
Yep,
and we have fun. I mean, there it is. There it is.
All right, yeah, we'll bring it. You guys can see the only Guinness operation outside of Ireland right here in Baltimore, which is great. So
5 bottles from our house.
Here. All right, Stacey, we'll throw it to you. What's your go-to beer? Do you like beer at all?
I'm the same. I'm stouts and porters. I do like BrewDog, but I'll drink a Murphy's or Sullivan's Red Irish Ale. I like too, but probably the only craft one. Yeah, I do like BrewDog. They're pretty good.
I make a mean red rye IPA, by the way.
When are you going to brew again, Andy?
I don't like IPA.
You might like this one. It's full of malty
Andy,
goodness.
You know what she'll like?
Okay, now that
like the pour some pumpkin on me, Andy.
The pour some pumpkin on me. Yes, that is an English brown ale that I do with just a splash of pumpkin spices. Is really good.
Splash?
Yeah,
I do like pumpkin everything this time of year.
Yeah,
I would like that one.
It's good stuff.
Does the chat want Andy to brew again? That's the question.
All right, I can do it. I'll if Todd comes with me, then
I got 2 batches fermenting right now.
I got a Mars. We'll do a live stream.
And I got an IPA, red rye IPA right there fermenting. I've got everything.
Okay. All right. Here's the next question for you, Sean. You're stuck on a deserted desert island. You get one last meal. What is your meal of choice? You can pair it with anything to drink, but what is your meal of choice? What are you having to eat?
I'd have to say black pudding.
Black pudding.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's Irish.
So like Clonakilty is famous for their black pudding.
And for those who don't know what black pudding is,
it's a blood pudding. So like, to be honest, I'm not even sure exactly what's in it. It's like oats and there's cow's blood or pig's blood in it. So it sounds really unappealing. It's the Irish equivalent. Like
you're selling it right now. Everybody wants to try something.
I know.
Wait.
You have to try it. I mean,
where's the pudding part in this? I just hear blood.
It's actually pretty good. I had black pudding. White
actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
What about corned beef and cabbage or something?
No, it's just too bland. I mean,
it's too bland.
I'll tell you what. My parents visited Oregon for the first time a couple months ago. And the one thing they brought me was a thing of black pudding and white pudding. And
so what's the white pudding?
White pudding is just like it's the black pudding is black, the white pudding is white. Obviously, there's no blood in the white pudding. Okay. So my girlfriend doesn't eat the black pudding because she knows what's in it. Whereas the white pudding is more like kind of spices and stuff. But they're it's unreal. It sounds terrible.
Hey, look,
I don't know. It sounds terrible to me.
We'll try it.
It sounds.
You have to try the Clonakilty black pudding. It's so much better than everything else.
It's just like blood and oats.
Saying that haggis is terrible. You got to try it.
No, there's a lot of spices in it too.
Yeah.
Is there any meat? Is there like cow meat at least or something?
Blood.
No, I
Say it
don't.
again.
There's no like meat at all.
Well,
There's
Todd,
just,
how do you like your
there's some sort of meat, to be honest. I don't know exactly what's in it, to be honest. It actually is like, I don't know, because Clonakilty black pudding is so secretive.
Yeah, what's in haggis? I heard bad things about haggis.
That's the way American hot dogs are. We don't know what's in those.
That's
but
true.
We eat them.
I love
We
hot
like them.
dogs.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But Todd, you like your steaks what? Medium rare, right?
It's American. Oh, it's American. Corned beef and cabbage is American. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I eat on St. Patrick's Day. I don't know.
Like medium rare steaks is all blood. That's what you like, Todd. So like it's not like necessarily that bad. So it's bloody.
In Ireland, it's not corned beef and cabbage. That's what a lot of Americans think. It's actually like it's ham. Like we call it bacon, but it's
I like that too. I like that too.
A roast ham, yeah. And the reason it's in America it's corned beef is because when the Irish immigrated to America, and we're very poor in like New York and stuff. We couldn't afford ham or bacon, so all we could afford was corned beef. So that's why Americans think it's corned beef over in Ireland.
I fell in love with back bacon over in Ireland.
All right, so here we go. JG says black pudding is made from pork or beef blood with pork fat or beef suet. I don't know how you say that. And a cereal, usually oatmeal, oats. That sounds, I'm sorry, Sean. It sounds awful.
It doesn't sound terrible, Todd.
That sounds awful. Andy,
it doesn't look like blood. It looks like a little sausage.
Todd, I like my steaks mooing. So I could be fine with this. That'd be fine. I'd be all right with that. I think
haggis is Scottish. Yeah, haggis is Scottish. There you go. See,
that's what I'm saying. But I'd love you to try haggis too. You go to Scotland, try haggis.
I don't like Scotch, and I don't like haggis. So there you go.
It's what is it? It's cooked inside of a stomach with like all kinds of stuff like that. Like
get at it. Give me a steak. Just give me a steak. What do I need a stomach for? What the hell do I need a stomach for?
So what's your dessert to go with your black pudding?
This ought to be good.
What do you got, Sean?
It's pudding that's not pudding.
I don't know. I'm on like a big tiramisu kick right now for some reason.
All right, Italian tiramisu. Oh, that's great. We'll stick with that. I like that. Yeah. Stacy, how about you? What's your last meal?
Oh, I'm going Chicago style deep dish pizza and some cannoli.
Stacy,
at 2 Italian desserts and a good pizza. Wow. I love it. That's great.
a lot less controversial, Stacy.
Yeah,
she wants a deep dish pizza topped with black pudding right before she is.
I need it.
We can make it a thing. That'd be great. Might be on a new menu at Clonakilty if you go out there. That'd be great.
All right, so Andy and Stacey, I'm sorry we didn't get this to you in time.
You're good.
We didn't have it in time to get the whole thing out, but yeah.
The 3-year single pot still. Can we get into that a little bit? I can't wait.
Lead us off. So tell us about this. I'm going to put the spotlight on you again, Sean. Tell us about this. We're really excited about this.
Yeah. So this is again, this is the spirit that we've actually distilled ourselves. So it's a single pot still Irish whiskey, which is it epitomizes what Irish whiskey is, I suppose. It's mostly made in Ireland, like I said earlier on. A lot of there's 1 or 2 distilleries in the US, Irish American distilleries that are doing it, but otherwise it's an Irish product. So it's comprised of malted and unmalted barley, which is very unique. The reason it's made from a portion of unmalted barley is because in the 1700s, the British wanted to they were raising the tax on malted barley, and we obviously didn't want to pay them any more, so we started introducing an unmalted barley component into the whiskey.
They did that with tea here.
Say it again.
They did that with tea here.
Well, yeah.
It's a different story.
So yeah, it's the unmalted, the single pot still whiskey. It's spicy. It has like Christmas cake notes, and a wonderful mouthfeel, tons of depth to it. And yeah, so this is our single pot still Irish whiskey. The sample I'm trying that right now, yours might differ. It's 50% malted and 50% unmalted barley, and it's bottled at 46% ABV.
Yep, that's what we got.
Okay,
the 50-50. Perfect. Yep,
yeah.
That's what we have.
And
now let me ask you this, Sean, has any other Whiskey Tube channel tried this with you live?
We've sampled this like once or twice on other shows.
So no.
See, we were so hoping to be unique for the first time that we were the first, but it's okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Actually, he just said yes. He said no. Then nobody else has done this. This is it. This is
like very like I have a bottle here, and like there's literally 2 bottles of this in America. right now.
Even Stacy.
So I like that.
Super excited, right?
It is unique, and like I said earlier on, it's when we saw the images of the Galley Lighthouse and where we grow our grains, the unmalted barley that's in this.
Andy, you're gonna love this.
Is grown there.
Andy's gonna love this. Andy, I can tell right now from the nose on this. Andy will love this.
The nose is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Sean, is this the heritage barley that you guys are doing at your farm?
No, so it's not. Thanks for asking about that. So we're actually growing some heritage barley as well by the Galley Lighthouse. That has nothing to do with this, but we obtained about a couple handfuls of pre-famine grain from the local Irish Food Board, and we've grown that out over about 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 seasons, probably more like. And we just had a distillation run of that heritage barley, last week or so was the second one, I think. And that'll be a completely unique release. It'll be like a heritage barley release. And again, like what I was saying earlier on, we're not really sure how it's going to turn out. And it's not the ideal grain to grow. It's super high. So it gets absolutely battered by the wind. So the yield is pretty poor, but we don't mind. It's unique, and it's going to be a really special product when we release it. But this is nothing to do with this. It's just unmalted barley.
This nose is silly. You're right. So I do get some apple notes, some kind of pear notes on this, a little bit of honey, but I also get there's some herbaceous qualities, like some herbal notes that are going on there, which are just fantastic, and not in that way that you get. Like sometimes those rye notes can be very grassy. It's not like that. It's almost more like a floral type note, which is really good.
Definitely floral.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, I love it. I love this. But do you get honey too on this, Todd? You little honey note kicked like that?
Yeah, it's really hard to pinpoint. Exactly what those herbs are you're talking about. But it's definitely it's not fresh cut grass. It's not that.
No, it's definitely not grassy. It's more like you get a whiff of like a flower or something, like kind of like a little.
Yeah, it's kind of like perfumey almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm looking for that.
But I get a sweetness though. I'm telling you, it's that is almost savory, like a sweet chocolate almost. I swear to God, I'm getting like a
I don't know where you're getting that chocolate. But
it's sweetness. I don't know if it's. I'm getting a very decadent sweetness to it, though.
All right, I gotta dive in. Todd, say cheers to us again.
Cilantro.
Perfect.
Perfect. You heard that, Andy? Perfect.
I think Sean's being nice now. He knows you're not getting it right.
Oh, you're right. So, you can now visit Ireland. You've been accepted in.
You've been accepted in, Todd.
Oh, Andy, you're gonna love. Andy, you are gonna love this. You are gonna love that. You're gonna love it. He loves this single malt stuff. He loves it.
Oh yeah, that's my jam. That's good.
Well, not single malt.
Yeah, so we're really, really
that's good.
Excited about how fast this has come along.
But at 3 years though, my question though, Sean, I wanted to ask this. So when do you decide to say, okay, let's bottle this and put it out? How does that happen? I mean, I know tasting it, but you said next year, so that at 4 years, is that when you're going to put it out?
Yeah, like we're pretty confident that where it's at right now, it'll be good to go in about a year's time, or just over it. Yeah, I mean it's you got the pasta spice, you got the wonderful fruity notes coming through.
The fruit notes come big time.
Yeah, and there's almost a slight doughy note, Todd. I
think it's more like a pastry sort of.
Almost, like it just kind of. It sits there like mid palate, which is really
vanilla,
really pretty. It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow. And what's the ABV on this?
Really good.
This is 46% ABV.
This is good.
So 92.
Stacy, I'm sorry this didn't come in.
Sorry, Stacy.
We sent you some because now
I'll be in line to buy a bottle when it's eventually bottled.
We're salivating over this, and poor Stacy's like, these guys are terrible. They didn't send it to me in time.
So Sean, let me ask you. This is really nice. It's super fantastic. I mean, when as you grow, will you keep it always at 4 years, or will you make this come out at different age statements? How will that work?
No, this will be. Yeah, this will come out at different age statements for sure. I mean, we're laying down as much spirit as we possibly can right now. We've a big distillery, and we're really laying down a lot of spirit. So yeah, but like we're this spirit right now will be finished in different casks on top of this. So the spirit we're sampling right now is matured in 95% ex-bourbon and 5% of that Neoc cask that I was talking about earlier on, the component of the double oak.
Oh.
We're probably going to mature this, finish this in, I don't know, like, maybe sherry casks or the likes of that.
Get out of town. Hell yes.
So,
yes.
So that's where we're kind of going right now. And then obviously you'll have different iterations of that. We have different mash bills of, percentages of malted to unmalted barleys. So we can kind of blend things in and out if you want to do that. Or I'll have, different.
Let me ask you this. You might have said this, Sean. I'm sorry if I missed it. The unmalted part of this, because in brewing, we talk about malted barley. We brew with malted barley, right? Malted grains.
Yeah.
What does that do for the distillate when you have unmalted?
At the end point you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. It's again, it's like traditionally single pot still whiskey will be more spicy.
Okay.
And we'll have like Christmas cake notes.
Yep.
So it'll be very fruity, and you kind of get that kind of, I don't know if bready is the right word to describe it as, but like kind of like the
grainy.
You guys don't really have Christmas cake in America, I don't think. Like a plum pudding.
We have plum pudding, don't we, Todd? I mean,
I've never had plum pudding.
We have those like weird fruit. We have those weird fruit cakes.
We have fruit cakes.
It's not fruit cake.
It's not fruit cake. I don't think so. Yeah.
No,
but it's yeah. So
what is it? Figgy pudding, right? That's in all the songs. Figgy pudding. Is that what like plum? Is that the same thing? I don't know.
I don't know any. You're talking gibberish to me now.
But it's a lot of like raisins and stuff like that in the Christmas cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dude. This is
all
really
right,
good. I'm
Andy,
excited for this to be released. What you got?
I just wanted to go through the note. Oh God! So we had the double oaked. We had the port finish. We had the Katakan Creek, and now we have the 3-year. What's your favorite?
Oh, see, that's hard to say because they're all.
Come on, I know they are.
All right,
come on, step up. They're all real fantastic.
Darn it, Todd. Okay, you go first, and then I will give you my answer.
I will go first.
Okay, you go first.
Well, I love rye, so I am drawn to the Katakan Creek. But I love the nose on the double oak. To me, that cinnamon. Oh my God, that cinnamon honey. Actually, the port finish might be my least favorite, Andy.
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
God, that's so good.
I might go Katakan Creek because I love the rye. I'm a big rye guy, and I love the higher proof, and I love this 3-year single pot still. Fantastic, very equal to the double oaked, and then the port finish. That's my favorite. That's my 4.
All right, I'm not going to rank them like that because they're all I like. I really
come on, Andy, grow some. Come on, what do you like?
You're not going to offend anyone, Andy. So go.
I like them all.
All right. Okay. All right. Here's where I'm going. Don't pressure me, Todd. Carrick, Irish Todd. Here's the thing. I'm going to go with. I think the double oak was fantastic. I
do too.
So that's my number 1.
Double oak 1.
And here's where I could like kind of interchange. I'm going to go the 3-year. That's getting ready to be. I love
my second too.
It's fantastic. That's really good. And I'm gonna chicken out. I'm gonna say 2-way tie for 3rd place between the rye and the port because I love them both. Right. They're both so different. I love them both.
All right.
So there's my ranking, but there's not a bad. Oh, by the way, and then maybe it's a 3-way tie because I also like this one that you guys are doing the.
Oh, he's got all sorts of Clonakilty.
This is really good too. So let's just put it this way: they're all really good. They're all really good.
And they're all very unique whiskeys as well. It's hard to rank them because they're at different ABVs and.
Well, it's what your flavor profile likes too. They're across the board, right? I love rye, so Sean, to me, I'm drawn to that Katakan Creek, but I also appreciate that the double oak, that first one we had, Andy. I agree with you. This is fantastic. It's and then the 3-year and like the port finish, Andy. I know you love that too, but. They're different flavor profiles. That's the cool thing about this. We get pigeonholed a lot of times into bourbon, right? Everything tastes the same, right? You get the same 3 or 4 flavors or profiles.
Well, I do like that. So the one
wildly
thing
different
of as Irish whiskey grows, and the problem with well, Todd, here's a little self plug for us. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, right?
Yeah.
right now, no one is doing collaborations like Clonakilty. I mean, they are collaborating with so many different distilleries and breweries across not just America but all over. Eventually, that recipe for success will probably catch on. Other distilleries will do that from Ireland. But right now, there's no one doing what you guys are doing, which is really cool.
Love it.
I absolutely love it. I think that's neat, and I think it's fun because collaboration is the best way to grow and get your name out there too.
Love it.
So I'm excited to see where this goes from here.
All right, Andy. We have one more left.
Wait a minute. Before we do that, Todd, let's do a couple more questions.
Okay.
All right,
I'm going to pour this. Do I need to let the gin open up?
No, you're okay.
All right.
All right. So first question for Sean and Stacy. You can answer this afterwards as well. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh.
Okay, Stacy, I'm going to throw this to you if you know your answer.
Come on, Stacy. Come on. I'll tell you mine. Mine is transportation. I like to be just say I'm going to be in Disney World. I can be there. Boom. I'm going to be Ireland.
Todd's superpower is he would like to be able to get a tan without burning.
That's true. That is true. That is actually true. I state that. Yeah. Sorry, Sean. Yeah, Irish, right? I can't get a tan. Look at me. Look at me. I have
honestly. Like I actually think I agree with you. Like I don't mind flying at all, but I hate having to fly halfway across the world to Ireland.
Yes.
And sometimes you wish you could just like teleport. So
boom,
that's a good one.
Right there. I'm at Clonakilty. Andy, I'm drinking some of the 3-year right here, right now. That's how it is. Boom.
Plus, if you tell your wife you're going to the store real quick, you can actually go to Clonakilty, grab a quick
drink,
and then come back and you'll be fine. So that makes sense. Now that it makes sense.
I think I would want to time travel, and I want to go back and start buying stock in Irish whiskey right before knowing now how it's booming.
Well, you wouldn't want to go to like see dinosaurs and stuff. You want to do that instead.
I've seen that.
You're
going
good on
Irish.
Dinosaurs. You're doing Irish whiskey instead of maybe like Google or Apple or something or Amazon.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's all.
It's exploding. It's going to continue to explode. So I wish hindsight.
All right, fair enough.
Back in 2014 when there were still only just a handful of distilleries. It's amazing how it's grown.
Okay, this is always a fun question to ask. So they're making a movie, and it's going to be called Clonakilty, the story of the Irish distillery that grew. Whatever. We'll give it some fancy title. Who plays Sean Scully in the movie?
Oh, Sean.
The Clonakilty movie. Who plays Sean? What actor are you hiring to play you?
God, I have no idea.
So here's the
man.
thing. For me, it would be Bruce Willis because he's
it's not
awesome.
Bruce Willis. You aren't even close to manly enough. You're more like if Andy Dick shaved his head. That would be you. That would be you in the movie.
Andy Dick.
Let's let Sean pick who he's gonna pick.
God, I don't know. Well, the question is, do I want to pick someone who's really good looking to make me seem good looking, or someone who's really funny to make me look funny?
I would go good looking if I were doing my story, but you go for yours. Who are you going to pick?
Well, actually, I don't think it fits my personality, but maybe someone like Liam Neeson. He's Irish, so just go for it.
All right, that's cool. I like.
Yeah, I was thinking him or Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
Funny story, Cillian Murphy. Actually, I probably shouldn't tell the story live, but I'm not going to tell it.
Nobody's watching, Sean.
My mom's. Yeah, no one's watching. My mom's sister, so my aunt, her first kiss was Cillian Murphy. He's from Cork.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we get Sean. Maybe we get Joe Flacco to play if you want. We get.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Joe can play.
Maybe. Look. Let's see.
He has a little bit of a young Joe Flacco.
Happy I'm down.
Yeah, we're all right. He got a little bit of a young Joe Flacco look to him. See, I can see it. I can see it being number 5 for the Ravens.
There you go.
Stacy, who's playing you, Stacy, in your movie? Ohio Irish whiskey. Who is playing you?
I have no idea. I would actually. I'm more of a rocker person. I would probably pick somebody like Lizzie Hale.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're best friends. That's awesome.
We are best friends. Hailstorm.
So here's a crazy Kevin
note.
Bacon, like 7 Shades of Kevin Bacon here. So Lizzie Hale takes vocal lessons from Steve Whiteman, who is the lead singer of Kix. I don't know if you know who Kix is, if you ever heard of him. If you haven't, Stacy, go look them up because they're fantastic. But the lead singer has given vocal lessons to Lizzie Hale.
And Andy.
He's also given vocal lessons to me when I 10 years ago when I was getting ready, when we had a band that I was playing with. I took vocal lessons from Todd, for obvious reasons. I took vocal lessons from Steve Whiteman as well. Cool dude, but he's awesome. But so Lizzie Hale and I have something in common. So I'll throw that out there. But that's a great pick.
All
right.
Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. My maiden name is Hale.
There you go. All right, Andy. Cool.
Stacy just keeps cooler and cooler.
Stacy likes Hailstorm. Sean likes Joe Flacco. This is the greatest night ever. We're having a great time. This is awesome.
Last one we have, Sean, is your gin, and I've nosed it.
Yeah,
it smells beautiful. Todd, check out this slide. Look at that. Okay, so because I want you to talk about the name too, because Todd doesn't know why the name is what it is.
Minky. I was right, Andy. I said Minky.
Yeah, so it's named after the minke whale. It's just a type of whale that swims off the Gallyhead Lighthouse off the coast.
Of course it does, right? Of
Clonakilty.
course. If you go there, you can see whales. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Todd, look at the logo. You've got the minke whale tail coming out of the water. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. So other than that, it doesn't really, the minke whale doesn't have much to do with the gin itself, but it's obviously our logo. It's a giant copper whale tail outside the distillery, so it's a fairly distinctive landmark in Clonakilty. So that ultimately became our logo, and we contribute to whale and dolphin conservation from sales of all our spirits. So it's something we're passionate about and giving back. In that
fantastic.
Sense.
You guys get some awesome animals down there, because I remember your staff interaction with Wally the Walrus last year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a funny one. So you don't get walruses down in Ireland at all. Obviously, they're up in the Arctic. Last summer, there was a walrus doing the rounds around Europe. He was in Italy and eventually made his way up to Ireland. Wow. And by chance, we have a small fishing boat, moored off the coast of Clonakilty by the farm, and Wally the Walrus showed up, and he hopped onto one or two boats, decided they weren't for his liking. And then decided that our boat was the one. So he was on it for probably a day or two, and we didn't want to shush him off it because he needed a place to sleep and be, and there's a lot of media attention and all this stuff, and a lot of people coming down to look at him. So we're trying to keep people away and all this, and eventually he's huge. Obviously, he was trying to get off the boat, and he actually capsized the boat. It didn't sink, but it turned all the way over. And we had to drag it in through a slipway upside down and just completely destroy the boat. That's awesome. that was Wally. Yeah.
So
this is cool because hold on, Todd.
Good.
So gin, obviously, you get the juniper notes coming through there, but tell us about the rock samphire piece of this. This is the one I want to go over because this is something that grows really from May to September. It's a perennial that grows only really on the coast of Ireland, and it's dangerous to pick. Shakespeare wrote a poem about the dangers of picking rock samphire decades, centuries ago. So talk to us about the rock samphire part of this too that makes it so unique and the other botanicals that go into this gin.
Yeah, so the botanicals in general, you have of course you have juniper, which you need to have in it to make a gin. But juniper wise in our minky gin, it's not we don't go too heavy in it. We don't want that to overpower all the other aspects of the gin, so we take it easy a small bit. Lots of citrus. It was kind of designed to be a gin and tonic gin.
Total citrus. I mean, it smells like it's a gin and tonic. That's what it smells like. That's what it smells like.
Yeah, because gin and tonics are all the rage in Ireland right now. So great for a G&T. You've lemon peel, lime peel, lemon verbena, orange.
It's like a citrus field. That's what this smells like.
Yeah. And you've all your standard botanicals, coriander, angelica root, all those, orris root. But our key botanical is rock samphire. So that's a local botanical which grows off the coastline of Clonakilty. It grows about 3 meters above the high water mark, of the ocean, on the cliff sides. So we actually have to hand forage that ourselves.
Wow.
So yeah, we go out. It sounds far fetched, I know that, but like some of it's accessible. You can just hop a ditch or so, and you can hand forage it. Sometimes we have to get in a kayak and go into small little coves to find it. So yeah, aniseed, it kind of looks like almost like aloe vera ish. But yeah, it grows on the edge of the ocean.
They're like little yellow flowers, right? Like little tiny at the end of the buds, like little flower, like kind of buds that come up.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, when we're harvesting it, often it doesn't have those flowers really. It's just kind of like green stems, and it gives the gin an aniseed kind of back note licoricey aspect, and also a tad bit of like sea salt salinity because of its proximity to the ocean.
Did you try it, Todd?
I did.
You didn't say cheers first.
Oh, Slancha.
Slancha.
What is Slancha? Slancha.
There you go.
Stacey, are you a gin fan?
I don't like gin, and I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is
all right.
Really fruit forward. This is
Tell me,
super.
Todd, I haven't tried it yet. The nose is beautiful. Todd, what are you tasting? I haven't tried the nose yet.
It tastes like a gin. It tastes like a gin and tonic. To me, it's very much like you have the tonic water in there. It's very fruit forward in terms of citrus. It's very citrus forward. I can say fruit forward, but citrus forward. Wow, it smells like almost like a 7-Up, or a Sprite. That's what it smells like to me.
Oh wow.
It might be the gin and tonic already with the squeeze of fruit in it.
Yeah, there's lemon all over this. I was expecting. All right, so I was expecting not to like this because I was that's why I was hoping we did this first.
So hold on.
This is good. This is really good.
Wait, when you mentioned the cow's milk?
Yeah, so I haven't even got to that yet.
How's that happen? How's that happen?
Well, first of all, the reason you guys like it, like Stacey, you say you don't normally like gin. It's probably because of the juniper aspect of things. Yeah, so that's the reason. Like non-gin drinkers really do like this gin. But yeah, all those botanicals are wonderful. But the main selling aspect for this, for me, is the whey-based spirit.
Yes.
So as I talked about at the start of the show, we're dairy farmers by trade. That farm has been in our family for if and when I take it over, it's going to be 9 generations in the family farm.
Wow.
So we really wanted to tie that into their story, and we did that through the gin. So this whey-based spirit is directly traceable back to our own cows on our family farm, and that's it's not just a good story; it actually makes for like a superior spirit as well. It's very smooth.
You could put that on the rocks, Andy, in the summertime. That's like a drink in itself. 100%.
That's actually fantastic.
Am I wrong in that, Andy? You put this on the rocks?
Look, I'm dead serious. My wife loves gin and tonics. She goes through gin tonic like it's going out of style. So I decided to try some of the gin that she uses, and I poured it neat, and I took a little sip, and I was like it was tough for me to like get.
What was this? You tasted what?
It was the Tanqueray 10 or something like that. No, it was good. It was good. It was good gin. I didn't like it.
Gin was not good.
I didn't even want to try that one.
That was awful. That was so bad.
So I was expecting when we tried this to be like, okay, this is where I'm going to be like, not my jam. This is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
there's even a mouthfeel to it. There's a body to it. There's a viscosity to it, which is totally. I didn't expect.
I don't want to simplify it.
Very creamy.
I don't want to simplify it, but this has a. Look, if you look for like lemon, lime, and like together, this has a Sprite-ish flavor to it.
It's exactly what it tastes like to me.
Yeah,
Sprite.
It's really, really good. I like this.
Sean, that's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I don't love gin at all. I love this gin.
This is great.
You can drink this straight. I don't even know what this would do in a mixed drink with like tonic. Over ice, it's great.
It's great. Well, great for gin and tonic. Great in a martini, a spirit forward cocktail because it still retains that mouthfeel.
And
Yeah, I mean, we have a Minky Irish vodka we just released as well. And
I saw that.
That's the same base spirit again. So great for like an espresso martini, super
That's
creamy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And you had the Minky slow gin as well, right?
We have the Minky Slow Gin. That's actually just available in Ireland around Christmas time.
Okay.
So that's not really a regular release that we have.
But
I'm done. That's fantastic. That is so good. Wow.
Well, look, like a compliment to you is that we're not gin guys, and I was expecting really to say that's not good.
I was expecting Def Leppard.
That's fantastic. That's really good. Congrats
Thank
on
you,
that. That's really good. Really good.
We get that at a lot of liquor stores. People come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm like, do you want to sample this gin?"
Andy, do we have a picture of that bottle? No, we don't.
I can give you a small picture.
Oh, hold on. There it is.
That's what it looks like. Is
that right, Sean?
Yeah. Here, if you want to put me on the screen, I have.
Yeah,
the
there it is.
Yep.
Bigger bottle.
His is bigger than mine.
Sean's is bigger. There
I'm not bragging at all. Yeah.
But I'm kind of bragging.
Well, he's just saying whatever. No, that's it's good. Honestly, that's really. Now, is the gin also available? Are you selling that stateside too?
Yeah. That's in almost all states we're in. It's really popular. I think people they love the traceability behind this back to the farm, and the fact that we can back it up with the quality of the spirit is it's
I might have to look for
fantastic.
That's really good.
Right.
Really good.
Well, Andy, are you ready to give away some Clonakilty to one of our lucky viewers?
Can do that. If you get so remember
I've
you're
got
playing
the wheel ready.
for...
The wheel is ready, guys. Again, 2 glasses from Sean from Clonakilty. He will send out to whoever wins this, and then what do you have, Andy? The Old Glory, right? Or what is it?
It's the Old Glory DC. This is the rugby edition. This is the gentle cut in the Bordeaux. This is really good.
Oh, Bordeaux finished. There you go. Which I didn't try, Andy. You didn't give. I have to try that, Andy. You didn't give me.
Well, I just got this today. I found this today. I want to buy that, so I got 2, one for me and one for someone else. So I got 2.
I see how that is. All right, let's
Todd,
bring
you're
up the
not
wheel.
Someone else. Okay.
Oh, I know that. I never am. So let's.
All right, and while we're doing that, Todd, 2 more questions we'll ask just for fun.
Let me put the. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. One is Sean. We'll put you first. If you could meet one person, alive or dead, doesn't matter who it is, that you always wish you could meet and hang out with and have a whiskey with, who would you want to meet?
Oh my god.
Stacey started thinking because we're going to throw it to you next.
Yeah.
If you know Stacey, speak up because I'm
Like Andy would say Babe Ruth because he's a big baseball fan, right? Or actually maybe Joe Flacco because he's not. Hold on.
Yeah, see, I again would probably go music. I'd want to do like Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin or Bach or Tchaikovsky or somebody like that. But.
Beautiful. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, someone like like obviously very historical, like Einstein or Da Vinci or something like that.
Perfect.
Would be amazing, obviously, but that's a very stereotypical answer.
That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, Einstein is great, and you said, who'd you say again, Stacey?
Like I said, I want somebody musical.
Janis Joplin or Hendrix.
Okay, fair enough.
Or,
by the way, my father-in-law saw Jimi Hendrix live at a small club in Philadelphia in like 1960 something. Like my father-in-law.
Actually, I wouldn't pick one. I'd want like a round table of the greatest musicians and just sit there and talk.
I like how Stacey thinks. I like that.
Right, I like that. Stacey, by the way, are you a Def Leppard fan?
Say yes.
I do like Def Leppard. Yeah.
Sean, you're a Def Leppard fan.
I like rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sean, yes, you are Def Leppard.
I wouldn't be able to tell you one song, lads. Sorry.
Oh my God, Sean!
Look, I mean, Pour Some Sugar on Me has to be somewhere over there in Ireland.
Sean, Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Animal.
Oh, Porsche, is that them? Okay, yeah, I know that song.
No. All right, there you go. If you've been to a wedding, you know that song, so it's okay. So we're good.
Oh no.
All right. Last question then before we spin the wheel.
Thanks, Christopher. You're the man.
Yeah, thank you,
Christopher. You rock, brother.
Okay, give me your. It can be a guilty pleasure. It can be your favorite one. Doesn't matter. But if you're just hanging out by yourself, no one's around, and you can put on. I know this is a tough question, but give me the movie you want to watch. You're just hanging out. You want to watch a movie. You can put whatever you want on. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie or guilty pleasure?
You do both. We'll do both. Favorite movie, guilty pleasure.
Oh, these open-ended questions are really getting me.
See, we couldn't prep you for those.
No, we
start thinking, Stacey.
No, exactly.
I will say this: my guilty pleasure would probably be something like Wedding Crashers. Anytime Wedding Crashers is on, I watch that movie, Andy. 100%.
Oh, see, I even go worse than that.
I
like my guilty pleasures like Zombievers or Sharknado.
Sharknado!
I love those horrible movies. Those horrible movies. But if I'm just throwing something on, it probably like Shaun of the Dead or World's End. I love those.
You know what I watched? Speaking of zombies, I watched World War Z last night. Did you watch? Have you ever watched it with?
I have seen that one.
It was okay. I exposed my 6-year-old and 9-year-old sons to Star Wars last night. That would be Star Wars is my favorite movie. Like the Star Wars trilogy, I absolutely love. I'm a Star Wars fan.
I'm a Trekkie.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we're kind of close. There you go.
My husband's a Star Wars fan.
You don't like Star Wars, Stacey?
I do. It's just I prefer Star Trek.
Oh my gosh, George Takei.
Well, I'll give you my two guilty pleasure movies. Okay.
All right.
One is
Goodfellas. That's a good one. Wedding Crashers.
One is those are good movies, by the way. Sean, Whiskey Wars. Those are good movies. All right. So first guilty pleasure, Paul Blart Mall Cop. I love that movie.
Oh my God.
I love that movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely love it. And then
feeling better about Sharknado.
The second one is Fools Rush In with Selma Hayek and Matthew Perry. I love that movie too. The whole Vegas thing. Selma Hayek is my wife knows it. My get out of jail free pass would be Selma Hayek is a lover to death.
Jimmy's here. Otis on. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, so there we go. So
thank you, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, if I was to choose like a guilty pleasure movie, and I hate to admit this, but
go ahead.
Like with Disney Plus and stuff these days, like some of the animated stuff they're putting out these days is unbelievable.
Yes, I agree with you.
All right, give me something. Give me an example.
Well, this is a bit old, but like Moana.
Oh yes,
nice. With the Rock. That's great. I love that. That's
great. My kids love it. Sean,
or like Coco. Have you guys seen
Coco?
Yes,
Coco.
That's good too.
Here's the thing. My kids don't love Coco.
That's way classier than my choices.
Me and my wife love Coco. Coco is such a good. It's one of the most underrated Disney films of all time.
Yeah.
I love Coco. My kids are like, I don't get it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? I can actually get that why they don't get it. It's a great film. Oh, Sean, well done.
Guilty pleasures, not favorite movies, but yeah.
Guilty pleasures. There you go.
All right.
Well done. Well done.
Because favorite movies, like there are some favorite movies. Like I went to Field of Dreams. I love Field of Dreams. That's one of my
Christopher. You've never seen Moana? What?
Godfather, stuff like that. Those are great, but guilty pleasures are more fun. All right, that's great.
All right, let's bring up
Todd,
the wheel.
You got the wheel?
The wheel is ready, guys. Thanks to everybody. We're giving away again 2 glasses from Clonakilty. That thank you, Sean, for donating. And Andy, you picked up a bottle of Clonakilty. So you'll have a bottle to pour into the Clonakilty glasses. Thank you all for supporting us and Clonakilty. So let's bring it up, Andy, and let me do that right now.
Go ahead, buddy.
And let's see who wins this thing.
Bring out that. By the way,
that beautiful
Joe, we
wheel.
don't always agree. I love Goonies. That's not the guilty pleasure.
Oh, Goonies is great.
That's a great movie.
That is a good one. All right, so
Gremlins too. Gremlins is another one of my favorite movies. I love Gremlins.
All right, we will shuffle it.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yes, how great is that? Gremlins is a great movie. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's not we had it. Andy, is it a Christmas movie or not?
It's a Christmas movie.
All right.
There's a whole lot of Christmas in that
If
movie.
you're a Patreon member, stay tuned. We will give that away later on. We're not done yet. Let's just shuffle this a couple times. And here we go. Andy, are you ready? You have it up?
It's up, buddy. Your wheel is up.
Appreciate all the support. Let's see who wins the bottle of Clonakilty and 2 glasses from Sean from Clonakilty. Here we go. Ooh, I can't wait. Who's going to win, Andy? I can't.
Let's see. The winner is
JG.
All right.
JG. Well
Congrats,
done, Jay.
JG. Awesome. That's great stuff.
JG wins the bottle of Clonakilty and 2 glasses. Sean, we will email you his address.
Sounds great. Congrats, Jay.
There you go,
That's
Jay.
awesome. Yeah, Jay is a big supporter of ours. He's great.
Jay's
I don't think
that's awesome.
There it is. Rigged. Look, they're saying it's rigged. It's rigged.
It's not rigged. Well, it probably is, but congratulations, Jay.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged. I don't control it. Sean, I can't thank you enough for being on with us. Listen, I went through them all. Andy, I still love that.
This is
so good.
That rye is good. I'm not a rye fan. I didn't think anything would top. And that rye, yeah, is really, really good.
It's so good. Right?
No, it's been great. I hope that if you guys have been watching, that this will inspire you. If you go out and see some Irish whiskey out there, especially Clonakilty, grab a bottle, try it. It's really, really good. We also will be very honest. We weren't all that familiar with Irish whiskey before we started kind of diving into this. And then we started doing a little bit of research. We've been talking to Sean for a few weeks now. It's good stuff. It's really, really good.
Amazing.
The story is fantastic. You know, everything about what Clonakilty is doing is something that is inspiring and makes you kind of want to go.
Chris Christine wants to come to Portland. He works for Sycamore. He wants to come to Portland, Chris. So there you go. Sean. There you go.
Chris, you go to Portland. I want to go to Cork. I want to go to Ireland. That's where I want to go. It's about the same plane ride.
I'm hoping to get back next year to Ireland.
That's awesome.
Are you serious, Stacy?
Yeah.
All right. So Sean, Stacy's coming to Ireland next year.
I'm hoping.
You're gonna hook her up, right?
100%. Let me know when you're getting there, Stacy.
I definitely will.
I love it. Andy, how can we get our wives to get us to go over to Ireland?
Oh, this is not how can we get our wives. This is how we get your wife, because my wife has already said, when I told her, I showed her a video of that we showed the clip.
My wife's maiden name is McCluskey. She's Irish. So, like, what's going on here?
It's a beautiful country, and that's just one small portion. It's a gorgeous country.
Yeah, Todd, I showed my wife the video, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm all in. If you actually can go over there, I'm with you." So she's in. So we have one.
All right, Sean, we're gonna work on this.
One left to go.
All right, 100%. You have to make this happen with us. When you come over, you have to
we'll roll out the red carpet for you guys and put down a nice reclining chair for you.
I love it.
There you go.
Is Dad as easygoing as you are? Is he going to like us, or are we going to be afraid? How's that work?
He's middle of the road.
Not really, Andy.
He's great. He's great.
He might scare Todd a little bit. That's all right. That'll be fun.
Everybody loves me, Andy. I'm bald and I'm Irish. He's gonna love me. He's gonna love me.
Well, this has been fun. So, Sean, you can stay on as long as you want. Stacy, as long as you want. But we do appreciate you guys being on. This has been a blast. It's been a good time. I did want to also talk about the Todd. We got another entry into our P90X. I wanted to talk about
that
side too.
Who?
I'll play that in a minute.
Okay.
But now, Stacy, have you watched it long enough to know about the P90X video?
Oh no,
I have. I've seen it every week. The new entries.
Jesus.
All right. So Sean may not know about this, but
no, I don't.
Todd's been doing he's been into whiskey for a little while, but he's not. Let's just say he's grown quite a bit in his whiskey knowledge from where he came from. Have you heard of the P90X, like the workout tapes? Have you heard of that?
Rings a bell, but I'd be lying if I said I really knew about it.
Okay, it's fair enough. I didn't know if it hit Ireland. It's very big in the United States. It was a workout video that everybody knew, except apparently for Todd. So I'll play this and I'll show you what we're doing in a minute.
Excellent. Okay, what you guys are all waiting for tonight on our live stream, our members only giveaway is something very special. We are giving away our top 5 whiskeys of 2020 to a lucky winner. Those are going to be the Knob Creek 12-year Select, the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, the Rare Breed Masters Tier 17, the Old Crow Double Barrel 47, and then the Maker's Mark's P90X. All absolutely amazing bourbons that you can't find easily that Andy has. One lucky member will get it. So we can't wait to see you tonight, 8:30 p.m., and we'll have some fun. Cheers. I'm at the beach. That's where the live stream will be.
So here's how this goes, Sean. I basically put this in for Todd. I gave him fake whiskeys to put up there, and he didn't know enough about it to know the difference. So he just read it and put
That
it
was
up
2
there on
years ago.
YouTube.
Sean,
Everybody
it was
to
2 years
see.
ago.
And so a couple of our viewers they thought it was funny. They made a video about it, kind of a parody of what Todd's video was. And we had a contest from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We have now 8 entries of people who have submitted their own videos, which is funny. And we had
mocking me, Sean, mocking me,
mocking Todd. Todd, I was actually mocked in this one too, which is kind of funny. You'll be happy about this. So this is our latest one that came in today.
I can't see everything you play. I can't see, but okay, good.
Well, you'll have to watch it tomorrow because this is from your friend Saucy Shane.
Oh yes.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Saucy Shane coming to you live from the liquor store. While Todd's playing on the beach, Andy's traveling the country. We're coming to you with this quick Patreon-only announcement for 5 special bottles to give away very soon. Let's get right into it. Bottle number 1 is a Basil Hayden bottled in bond. That's right, I said it. Basil Hayden bottled in bond. Will it be an old tub with a pretty little band around the bottle? Who knows? The next one is a Woodford Reserve 15 malt stouted mash. We all know how much Todd liked the 5 malt stouted mash from Woodford Reserve last year. I know he's going to love this one. Todd, brother, get your Coke Zero ready. You're going to need it. The next one, the very special one, Jefferson's Ocean Shark Week edition. That's right. Jefferson's Ocean's took in barrels, aged them in a shark tank while watching Shark Tank, flew them around on a Shark Week blimp. Can't get no better than that, guys. It's the Shark Week edition, Jefferson's Ocean. The next one, Maker's Mark Tony Little hand-selected barrel. One sip of this juice will make you want to run like a gazelle, I can guarantee it. And the last, but definitely not the least bottle on the list, is Sagamore Spirits has teamed up with Skinny Girl Wine, and they have got a rye aged in Skinny Girl Pinot Grigio barrels. I didn't even know Pinot Grigio was aged in barrels, but hey, what do you know? It sounds like a low-cal sipper that's going to be great paired with funnel cakes. I love you guys. Cheers and rock on. Hey, it's friggin' Tuesday night. I'll see y'all tonight. Love y'all.
That's hilarious.
I love the Shark Week edition. That was awesome.
Shark Week edition. And Todd, that subtle little paired with Pinot Grigio. Do you remember that old top 10 days?
Yes.
Saucy was Chardonnay. What was it? Some sort of wine with Pinot Grigio and funnel cake. So that was well done, man. That was awesome.
Well done, Saucy.
Awesome.
Well
Great
done.
job.
Is Saucy in the chat still?
He's here. Yeah, he's here. So
well done, Saucy.
Love that, Saucy. That's hilarious.
So, Sean, the thing is, 2 years ago, I was a beer guy, right? So here's the thing. I homebrewed. I loved craft beer. And Andy got me into the whiskey, unbeknownst. I said, Andy, this one night I said, Andy, what are our top whiskeys of 2000 and like, was it 20, Andy? I guess it was 2 years or 19. I don't know what it was.
Yep.
And he gave me these off the wall names, and I wrote them down. And I said, okay, I'll do the video for it. He thought I was bullshit. I was real, and I went out there and actually said those, as you saw, not knowing that all 5 of them were completely fake. And P90X, you would think you would know that. But
I didn't think he'd actually read that one, but the joy on my face when he put that up live, I was like, I can use this. This is going to be.
The funny thing is, I called him. I said, Andy, I put up the member video. He's like, you didn't really actually put it up, did you? And I'm like, yeah, I put it up. He's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Please tell me it's still up there. And ever since then, I've been known for that. So
I love it though. A lot of people would have said, "Don't show that to anyone." So
hey, you know what? That's me and that's us, and it's all good. So there you go.
Brilliant.
We have lots of fun stuff with Todd. I can show you later.
Oh,
so
no.
We have,
no.
No, I don't want to. No, that's fine. I don't want to embarrass you with Sean on because that wouldn't be right.
Because my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours.
Okay, that's the only one, Todd. That's it. I won't play anything else. I promise. That's where I draw the line. So
thank you, Andy. Thank you.
Anyway, hey, this has been fun. Have you not enjoyed tonight, Todd? This has been great.
I have 100% enjoyed it. I love Sean. Well done, Clonakilty guys. I want to get actually the Double Oak, Katakan Creek. I know where they're at. I'm going to go get them, and I can't wait.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I would encourage any of you who haven't delved into Irish whiskey yet, especially if you haven't tried the Clonakilty stuff yet, if it's available where you are, try it. But it's great. It's really good. Broaden your horizons, expand your palates. It's good stuff. Follow Stacy from Four Leaf Whiskey. She is a guru when it comes to any and all things Irish whiskey. Very good channel. Please support her. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do, because great channel. But hey, honestly, in all honesty, Sean, we'd love to get out to Cork one day and see the facility, because it just sounds amazing.
It's beautiful.
Keep up the good work. We absolutely we're honored that we were able to have you on tonight and talk about your story.
Really appreciate it.
It's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you guys. It's super fun time, and I appreciate your guys' time and wanting to hear our story and all that as well. And definitely hit me up when you're coming to Ireland.
There you go, Andy. There it is. The invite there.
Stacey,
you coming?
Are you coming, Stacey? I will do that.
Oh, I'll be. Yeah.
There you go.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm planning next year.
That's fantastic.
All right, we're gonna give away a Patreon giveaway in 1 second. Just if your Patreon
go ahead, Todd. Give that away, and then I'll.
You do it now? I'm ready to go.
I'll close it out. We'll give that away, and we'll close it out.
All right, let's do it right now. Share
screen. One more giveaway.
One more time,
close
guys.
Down the stream.
Yeah, we'll do it right now, guys. This is for
we're in the
Matty
mood.
Gladden. This is a Silbacks pick, 102 proof. So let me do that real quick. Thank you all to our Patreon members for commenting. There it is. Only 19. So good odds, guys. Every Friday night we put up a video for Patreon members. We have more than that, but there it is, Andy. Matty Gladden. Almost a full bottle going out. You got it up?
It's up, buddy. Go ahead.
All right, let's go. See who wins. It's Chelsea Shane. Saucy. There it is. Saucy.
You know what? Well deserved, Saucy. There
Congrats,
you go.
Saucy.
How about that? I mean, listen, the wheel knows what it knows. Saucy, well done, brother. Cheers.
That's fantastic.
All right.
So, all right. Again, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you so much. Stacey,
thank you both. Everyone, drink more Irish whiskey.
There you go.
There's a lot of great stuff out there.
No,
thanks, guys. Thanks, Stacy. Pleasure.
Oh, it's good to see you again, Sean.
Solanche.
So, wait, say it one more time, Todd.
Say it again, Stacy.
Sláinte.
There you go.
You did good, Todd. You did good. We will see you guys next week. Thank you. We appreciate you all. And cheers.
Rock on.
Rock on.
We're never getting through this.
Wasn't ready for that.
Get yourself in check here. What's wrong with you?
Fine. I also didn't have dinner.
Oh, you didn't have dinner?
There's nothing in my stomach.
Oh my God. We drank 8 whiskeys.
I felt drunk after the first beer.
Oh my God. Jeez.
Is that center?
And a barrel of beer. I don't even know at this point, Andy. We haven't gotten to that point. Come on, dude. Let's go. Finish this. This is important. Well, maybe it's not.
Do it still look high?
You do. You do. But let's go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we starting from?
Welcome back to 2TEN90's.
Welcome back to 2TEN90's.
Yes.
I'm Andy, you're Todd.
Yes. Okay. And just go into it. Let's review FAO2.
Let's just do it.
Don't worry about 01. Say
Don't
we
worry
love
about
01. Say the difference.
I'm not worried about 01.
You're so drunk.
That was so springtime.
Fuck. God, we're never gonna do this. We've reached our limit, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if this is a good idea at this point.
We got one more to do. Come on, sit.
Okay, hold on.
Come on.
I'm trying.
There's a lot of whiskey over here.
This is too much.